welcome back to another episode of the Sistah Talk Podcast. I'm the Queen of the Sauce, Gold Chain Diva, and this is my co-host,
Miss BB, and that's with a Z.
And we're just two sisters with a lot to talk about, and I hope the miss has been entertained this far.
Yes.
So what you got to talk about, sis?
Listen, let's just start off with first of all, how was your week? How was your week this week? Did it go fast? Did it go slow? How was your week?
Well, different day, same stuff.
Girl,
That's simple.
Girl, listen. Let me. This is for all my nursing home workers. This week we had state come in.
Okay.
They were here from Monday to Thursday, I want to say. And anytime state comes in to a facility, you got people coming out the woodwork to do work that you ain't never seen before.
Lift a finger.
Never seen lift a finger. And I'm just like, this is crazy. So it made my week long, very long. I was only there from Monday to Wednesday, and it felt like I was there from Monday to today, and I wasn't. So with that being said, girl, it was a long week. It was a long week. It was crazy.
Yeah, definitely a long week. I'm like slammed at work right now, so I just feel like I'm just like this.
Typing away.
At least they get out for like 30 minutes to get the last little bit of sunshine before the sunset today. So,
and that's important.
Absolutely.
Definitely important. But let's talk about, have you ever heard of a quarter life crisis?
No.
Okay, so I'm going to read what I have here, and then I'm going to kind of explain it my way. A quarter life crisis is a period of uncertainty and questioning that typically occurs when people feel trapped, uninspired, and delusion during the mid-20s.
Oh, listen, I'm going through a quarter life crisis.
Listen, when I seen this, I was like, I kind of fit this in a way. Not saying that I'm like depressed and none of that, but we have hit 30.
And it's okay to admit if you are, because let me tell you, some days I don't have the will to get out of bed. So yes, depression is a real thing.
Absolutely, absolutely. But I just feel like my 20s to my 30s, I just really don't, like, it went so fast. Like, the fact that this year will already be, and I know you always say, Tay, I'm still 30.
I'm still 30 forever.
But we do turn 31 this year. And I always think in my head, like, am I where I want to be at right now? There's more things that I could be doing. How can I push myself in this aspect? How can I just be better than who I was last year? You know what I mean? So with that being said, I just felt like this fit me. And it made me think. It made me think with myself, like, how can I do more? How can I try new things? So for you, what does a quarter life, like, how do you feel about it? What do you feel about a quarter life crisis?
Well, like I said, I feel like I'm absolutely going through a quarter life crisis right now. Just because, like, don't get me wrong, I love what I do. For those who don't know what I do, I'm in marketing communications for like an insurance company, for lack of explaining it. But yes, I love what I do as far as marketing. Like, I went to school for that, so I'm happy to have a job in the field that I want to be in. But I find myself now feeling like there's no room for advancement. I feel like, I'm overlooked in some regards. I don't feel like I'm able to be creative as much as I would like to be. Like, I'm bound by compliance, and I know a lot of people in the corporate world knows compliance is everything.
Right.
So I just feel like every day when I wake up, I'm just not happy to log in the morning. And, like, I just feel like I need something different as far as that. But then on the other end of things, because I am an entrepreneur and I do so many other, like, things in my free time, it's always this toss-up of, do I go get a different job that probably pays more, with more responsibilities, and then have less time for the things that I love to do? Or do I stay in this position and ride it out?
And that's such, I feel it's crazy, because my situation is kind of like the same thing. Like, I've been in nursing for 7 years now, and switching it up, going from a nursing home to a hospital. people might think it's the same thing, but it's not. Work-wise, it's totally different. You're learning a totally different skill, you know, a totally different skills that you're learning in the hospital. So with that being said, is stepping out of my comfort zone. And I feel like that brings me back to the quarter life crisis thing. Like, I want to step out of my comfort zone, but am I ready yet? And then I go back and forth in my mind, like, okay, no, I'm not. Yes, I am. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. And I psych myself out. You know what I mean? So, I don't know.
Well, one of the things, like, as you were talking, well, not to brush over what you just said.
Absolutely.
Fear is a real thing. And it does hold a lot of people back from being able to take the next steps in their life. So, I mean, fear is definitely valid, but you can't let it hold you back.
Absolutely.
So, if you desire more, absolutely go after it.
Right.
But, you know, on the other side of that, which I think is we have to bring up in this topic, is, are we at this age? Because, I mean, we grew up knowing what a midlife crisis was.
Yeah.
But a quarter life crisis, that means niggas is stressed out younger. Then
that's 20s. That's 20s to
so
30s.
We really got to ask ourselves, why is that? And my thing is, what I think has changed is social media has made everybody feel like they have to be doing something. They have to be an influencer. They have to, like, show their value in some type of way. But realistically, your idea of success is whatever you make it to be.
Absolutely.
So if that means that your idea of success is just having a healthy family, if it is, you know, my kids got clothes on their back,
food on a table,
that's enough.
Yes.
So I wonder if these unrealistic expectations that social media promotes, is that why we're now feeling like we're trapped a lot younger?
Yes. And I would definitely have to say it is not on top of, you know, pouring anxiety over 20-year-olds to 30-year-olds. Like, that is, listen.
But I mean, it's crazy because, I mean, yeah, we're quarter life, but I mean, realistically, it's kids in elementary school that got anxiety disorders these days.
Yes. And
like,
that's
why? They should be outside playing.
I know.
Those are some of the best times of my life.
But you have to think what the younger generation sees now. Like, think about what we were seeing when we were growing up, and think about what they're seeing. Yeah, listen.
Teletubbies, Barney.
There you go. Like, the Smurfs. Like, that's what we were growing up to. Now these kids are growing up with, I mean,
what's that girl name? Jojo CY. I don't know much about her.
I went straight to WAP. I went straight to, like,
with that too, though.
Like, just seeing that influenced, like,
because it's heavy on the stripper culture.
Absolutely.
It's heavy on the, like, influencer culture.
Yeah.
So early ages, they feel like they gotta be in front of a camera doing stuff.
Listen, this brings up something because you said the stripper culture, and I don't know if anybody else has known this, but I didn't know this. I learned when I went to Miami that you can be 18 and start being a stripper.
Well,
did you know that?
I didn't know that.
I didn't. That's a baby. I mean,
that's legal.
It is, but it's a baby. Like, damn. Can I say damn? Yeah, damn.
Look, you say whatever you want to say. You're a grown woman.
Right. Like,
I ain't here to police you.
Shoot, like 18 being a stripper and the king of diamonds?
Yeah.
Girl, come on. No.
I mean, but we're also in this culture now, this grooming culture, that they're grooming these younger people to be older. And we know as black women, our black children are looked at as older anyway when they're younger. So, I mean, it's not surprising. It's actually suspected. But my thing is, if you can't even buy cigarettes at 18 no more, should you be able to strip at 18?
Exactly. What is it, 21?
21.
21, you could be a stripper.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Sounds right about right to me.
Well, with that being said, you know, and anxiety in 20s to 30s, you know, I often ask myself, how do I manage without being overwhelmed my friends, my family, my job life, and having me time?
And spiritual life, for those who have a spiritual life, because that's where I struggle.
Absolutely. How do you manage it? Like, I sometimes I find myself being, because, you know, we all have different types of friends. We have friends that like different types, you know, doing different types of things. Like, how do you manage that? Like, okay, I'm gonna spend time with you this day, and then I'm gonna have my spiritual day on this day, and then I'm gonna go to work. It sometimes for me it becomes overwhelming because I don't know how to always like balance it. I don't know how to balance it.
It definitely is a toss up. Most days it's a toss up.
Yeah.
I mean, where I start first is focusing on the things that I can control right off the bat, which is, okay, you know, what time I wake up in the morning, my morning routine, what I'm doing throughout the day, like my personal well-being, like, okay, what's going to make me ready for my day. And a lot of that is listening to music in the morning. I don't know, aromatherapy is a big thing for me, so lighting some candles, getting dressed, like those things affect my mood. When it comes down to friends, because like you said, it's hard to juggle the friend situation.
Yes.
Sorry, friends, when y'all listen to this, but like my friend that's closest to me, the one that lives right on the corner, is the one that gets most of my time. I'm sorry, like I love the rest of y'all, but it's easier for me to just be like, hey, I'm coming over. Like it's just easier for me to be able to just pop up on you.
Absolutely.
It's very much easier because you live right on the corner. But with that being said, because I do have so many valuable friendships and relationships with people, I have to be intentional about, okay, if I know such and such amount of time has gone by, let me reach out to such and such and let's, you know, plan something. But with that being said, it also takes a inventory on you where you got to be like, okay, is everybody I have in my circle, number one, worthy of being here? Because you don't want to be spreading yourself thin for people who don't spread themselves thin for you.
Absolutely.
So you have to take inventory. When it comes down to relationships, I mean, that's kind of non-existent in my life right now.
Listen to. Anyway. But I feel like when you live with somebody, it's a little bit different because I live with my significant other, so we make time when, you know, because he has his own life, you know, and his own friends and stuff to do, but we figure out time. I feel like that is the easiest. From you being right around the corner and from him living with me, it's just, it's easy. But I do have, you know, a best friend that lives in Maryland that I would love to see a lot more, and I can't because it's Maryland. And people don't realize Harrisburg to Maryland, that's far.
And even though Maryland, I mean, no, hold on, pause. Even though us as Pennsylvanians take that drive like it's nothing, y'all Marylanders don't be wanting to bring y'all behind up here, act like it's the whole world shift. So, I mean, it definitely is, like, you got to make effort. When it comes to those out-of-state relationships, you got to make effort because like, I, too, have a best friend that lives in Maryland. And so, I mean, even though we talk every day.
Same.
I mean, for the most part, we talk every day, all day. I mean, I just had a 2-hour conversation with her today. We just talking. And half the time, we both just like this on the computer. But we just talking on FaceTime. But even with that being said, you know, we do have to have a level of intentionality where we say, hey, when are we going to do X, Y, and Z and really put it on the calendar?
And put it on, absolutely. Because that's my work. That's not my strong suit. I'll say it and then won't do it, but I got to start sticking to it. And I can admit that. So definitely.
The one thing, like I said, that I struggle with balancing is my spiritual life. Don't get me wrong, like I pray often, but I don't pray as much as I feel like I should. I read my Bible, but I don't read my Bible as much as I feel like I should. And so that's something that I struggle with placing into my routine. Because obviously TikTok takes over my life. And so when I should be picking up the Bible, I'm picking up TikTok. You know, we do have various distractions, but that's one of the things I struggle with. And then another thing I struggle with is like fitness. Fitting that in, that's like very hard because I feel like it's always a toss up of like, okay, if I go to my fitness, there's something else has to lack because I gotta fit this in. We only got 24 hours in a day. We sleep 8 of those hours and we work 8 of the 8 hours. That's 16 hours right there. How many hours we got left?
Not that many.
Exactly.
Not that many.
So something, but we also have to give ourselves grace when it comes down to it because we're only human.
Absolutely.
We can only do what we can do when we can do it.
Absolutely.
And sometimes that means that somebody got to be disappointed, but that's okay.
I'm a people pleaser though.
Me too.
I hate disappointing people. I'm just like, because then I do this thing where I put myself in their shoes and I'm like, well, how would I feel if I was the one getting disappointed? And I'm like, I wouldn't feel good, so I don't want to disappoint. But can't, like you said, you can't make everybody happy, you know. So
not all the time.
Yeah,
not all the time. But yeah, so we got some current events for y'all and some news that I'm sure y'all not expecting to hear about, because I mean, we're 90s babies. Some of y'all may be a little bit older, but you know, we haven't heard of these ladies in a while, so I'm sure they want to know what's going on.
So supposedly, Spice Girls is having a reunion.
Tell me what you want, what you really, really want.
So tell me what you want. And listen, so I was actually, I want to say, I seen, what is her name? Scary Spice? Is that the one with the...
That's the only one we know.
Right. So, Scary Spice was on TikTok, and...
Not even trying to be racist, but that really is the only one I know. I don't know.
Listen, me too. So, that's why I recognized her. But she was on TikTok, she had an interview, and she was talking about that they're actually planning a reunion. They didn't say a date yet, but they're planning a reunion, and what was brought up is that she was the one who originated Bantu Knots. Now, I do know Bantu Knots came out before her, but she kind of made it... I feel like...
I'm going to hold my tongue till you're done.
Okay, I feel like she kind of made it
she brought it to the mainstream. Let's put it there.
Yeah.
She brought it to the mainstream.
And can I say one more thing?
Yes, you sure can.
I'm going to say one more thing.
Listen, I said I was biting my tongue. I'm going to take a sip.
I'm going to say one more thing. So, she also, the reason why she chose Bantu Knots a lot for her like performances and videos is because she didn't feel like doing her hair.
Wow.
She said it. She was like, I don't feel... And her hair was always curly, poofy, you know, natural. She didn't feel like doing it. That was a cute style. So, anyway, go ahead. What you got to say?
Well, you know, I mean, I hate to always make it a race thing. But, you know, we know that a lot of this culture is built off of our backs.
Yeah.
Bantu Knots originated in Africa.
I believe it.
Africa.
I believe it.
They've been wearing Bantu Knots since the beginning of time.
Right.
That's something that they've been doing. That's a tribal thing.
Yeah.
And we just brought it to the Americas as a protective style for natural hair and things like that. But if we're being honest, it started in Africa. A lot of the other things started in Africa.
And listen, I'm not going to lie to you, I love me some Bantu Knots.
I can never get, well, first of all, my hair is not full enough.
Okay.
So when I wear them, they just look like just little, and it don't look right.
Listen, now maybe I usually do them for a curl out. I mean, a twist out, or however you want to call it. But I just like the look. It's easy, and you don't have to do much to your hair. I hate doing my hair, so. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. I would love to go see a Spice Girls.
I'm not gonna lie.
You probably wouldn't.
I wouldn't, because I only know one song.
You know that song.
That's it.
Hold on.
That's it.
There's more than that.
That's it. That's all.
There is more than that.
I know it's more.
And the reason I say I was such a big fan of Spice Girls in kindergarten, which is crazy to say because that was so.
Kindergarten.
Listen, but hold on.
I don't even remember kindergarten.
They wore these type of shoes that
were platform shoes. I know that.
Yes, I had
but they're coming back in the style right now.
I know, but I had a purple pair that were sparkly, and I bought them for Payless. I begged my mom. When my mom watches this, she's gonna be like, "Yes, she did." I begged her. Actually, me and my best friend, we begged our parents to get it, and we wore them at this cookout that I had in the grass. And it was at a cookout, and I was running in platforms. Not a good idea, but I had them. Anyway.
Aww,
sorry, it took me back. Yeah, it took me back. I like Spice
Now,
Girls.
if y'all would have said Backstreet Boys, they did have a reunion not that long ago. They had a tour.
They was able to perform and do their dances and shit.
I swear that they had a tour, man, at least. Listen, hold up. My increment says we start with the pandemic. That was 2 years.
Yeah.
So I want to say at least 4 years ago they went on tour.
And you said Backstreet
Boys.
That's not the one with Justin Timberlake.
No, that's not that's NSYNC. Yep.
Okay, got you.
Yep.
Okay.
Backstreet Boys, and I think it's so funny that you brought up NSYNC because they actually have a commercial out right now.
NSYNC?
No, I feel like is it NSYNC? I feel like. Yes, no, Backstreet Boys has a commercial out right now. And they actually make a pun about, so they name a lot of their songs, and somebody's like, bye, bye, bye. And he was like, no, that's not us.
What?
So it's easy to get them mixed up, but low key, I'm a diehard Backstreet Boys. I would have went to Backstreet Boys, but I'm going to tell you, I wouldn't know not one Spice Girl song.
Well, I know a couple.
I mean, not two. I mean.
Okay. Yeah, I know.
Tell me what you want.
What you listen?
Really want.
Tell
Look, what's a No, that's the wrong song. Hold on. Yeah, never mind.
Okay. She really only knows one.
Look, and I barely know that one, so
That's funny. So, listen. With that being said.
Well, speaking of music.
Okay.
We love the legends. And we love the old school music. We love the ones who paved the way for us. And Aretha Franklin is definitely the queen of soul. Period.
Ain't that her song?
Baby, I got it.
Listen.
What you need, you know I got it. All I'm asking is for a little respect when you get home. But yes, Aretha Franklin, she's always been that girl, and she's always given us hits. Yeah. Now, what I find is so crazy, and I'm going to tiptoe with this subject because we live in a day where everybody gets upset about something.
Yeah.
But right now, the day that we live in, there are trans activists who are actively trying to get them to ban Aretha Franklin's "I Am a Natural Woman" song because there is no such thing as a natural woman. And it's basically derogatory to them to say a natural woman. They're trying their hardest to basically blur this line between what a man and a woman is. They're basically trying to say you've heard it, trans women are women.
I have to tread lightly.
Absolutely. We gotta tread lightly.
With what I'm about to say. But okay, at the end of the day, you're allowed to be who you want to be. I do not care. I'm here for it. You know, your prerogative. But like, trying to
force it?
Nah, they're
at this point in life, they're forcing everything on us. They're forcing us to be okay with everything. As a natural woman, I feel a certain type of way that they're trying to take that away from us.
First of all, that's an anthem. Everyone, like that's you're gonna dance to that no matter if it's 2035. Like that's an anthem. That's not fair.
It's not fair at all. It's not fair at all, and I feel like it's nitpicky. Mm-hmm. I feel like they're in the weeds about it. They're reaching at this point to find anything. Like before you know it, the lines are going to be blurred completely.
And then what are we going to be? Just
human beings.
Yeah, human being. Check. Like.
I always gotta be facetious at some point in this show.
Yeah.
I saw this TikTok on this topic. It was a guy. He had 2 babies. Mm-hmm. He had a whiteboard. He was drawing on the whiteboard stick figures. Okay. So he's showing these babies. He draws a little stick figure, and then it has like a little line that extends down for the genitalia. Yeah. And says, "This is a man. This is a boy." Then he draws one for the girl with little boobies on it. Yeah. This is a girl. Then he draws the third one and he put boobies on it. And then he put a little, and he said, "This is a both of them." I said, is this really what we got to teach our kids today?
And it's crazy because I was just having this conversation with my significant other, and I said, you know, with us not having kids, it's like, do we really want to have kids right now? Like all this stuff I know my mom did not have to explain all this stuff to me.
Never.
Maybe the birds and the bees.
I didn't know. First of all, when we were younger, they were called hermaphrodites.
Why does that? Yeah.
Because they called Sierra a hermaphrodite. Yeah. First of all, I didn't know what a transgender person was literally until I was an adult. Like literally until I was in my 20s.
Yeah.
And now we have to have this conversation at younger ages with our children because we not only have to educate them on what it is, but we have to educate them on how to be nice and be accepting and not be hurtful to people. Absolutely. Because at the end of the day, you know, like you said, it's okay to be who you are.
Absolutely.
But I just feel like we're in a place now where it's being pushed onto our children at a very young age, and we should have a choice as to what we expose them to.
Absolutely. They're our kids. We should.
We should. So I found that kind of crazy that, you know, they're rallying to get this up. But, I mean, I don't know. I think so many people think it's a reach. I don't think it's going to happen. But then again, cancel culture is real.
I know.
And if they say it, they probably won't get it. It's crazy. But in the other news, Sha'Carri Richardson.
That's my girl. The lashes to the nails to just the aura. I just love her anyway.
She is a definition of being who you are and being who you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
She's also one of the fastest women. She broke FloJo's record.
Mm-hmm.
And we've gotten to see a lot of her in the media, not only for her accomplishment as a track star, but because of other things that typically happen with her. You know, of course, they point out her colorful weaves, her nails, things that they'd never seen before. You know, the fact that she smoked marijuana and all of that different stuff. We get to see her for everything but her talent.
Things that don't matter.
Things that don't matter. But this right here, what I'm going to tell you, matters.
Okay.
Because it shows you that no matter how up in the food chain that you go, you still a nigga. And that's how they want to look at you. Sha'Carri Richardson was on a flight. Not sure where she was going. I'm pretty sure she was going on vacation to an island somewhere or something like that. She was on this flight. She was kindly minding her business, recording herself on the plane, as many people do.
Yeah.
A flight attendant walked up to her as she was recording and basically started to harass her, telling her not to record, as if she was recording that person, which they were never in her video.
Right.
And basically it got to the point where they ended up kicking her off of the flight because basically this person wanted to beat on their chest and make it known that they had the power.
What?
No real rhyme or reason. This woman was not bothering anybody. And then you can hear in the video, which I think is the most disgusting part, is you can hear in the video, which I can only assume was a white male, in the background, you're just being selfish. You just need to get off of the plane. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Instead of sticking up for this woman who's clearly being wrongly done.
Right.
And having her back. And that's why I feel as black women, we're often left unprotected. And I feel, and I can only assume it was a second voice in that video, was a black woman that said, text me, da-da-da. I assume that she got off the plane with her. I'm not 100% sure. But it's clear to me that as black women, we're the only ones that are going to have each other's back.
And it's so sad because, like, to say, for somebody to open up their mouth and say racism is dead is obviously not.
Alive and well. And as we talked about on that first episode,
right,
it's not that far removed from us.
No, and it's sickening. Like, things like hearing things like that gives me chills. Because it's just like, wow, she was sitting on an airplane, something that I'm pretty sure we would do. Because we're excited about where we're going. Like,
that's normal in 2023. That's normal. Think about how many skits you see on TikTok of TikTok people, influencers, recording different videos on planes.
Right.
Where does it say, and correct me if I'm wrong, if any of you know something that I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, where it says that you cannot video record on a plane?
It doesn't.
And literally, I know that you cannot record somebody without their consent, but she was not recording anybody.
She was recording herself, so
It just furthermore shows you that no matter in what regard, they'll always feel like they got power over us. And they'll take every opportunity to remind us of that. And I think that's very wrong that, you know, she had to go through that, being that she's literally competing for this country. Like, come on now.
It's the same thing.
Like, and then I guarantee you that nobody knew who she was.
They didn't.
And that's a problem for me. That's a problem for me.
Yeah, definitely. And the fact that she probably was just so. If I was her, I wouldn't want to run for this country.
No,
I'm sorry.
Absolutely not.
I'm sorry, I wouldn't. Why? Why am I running for this country that don't even respect me as a person? First of all, as an athlete, because that's exactly what she is.
Yes, totally unfortunate, you know, that our celebrities, that our well-known, well-renowned people in this country still don't get basic human rights. Yeah. It shows you that it really doesn't matter how much money you make, where you live, none of that. Because at the end of the day, they still want to see But I think it's time for conspiracy time. But yeah, so I'll let you go first with your conspiracy time.
Okay, well, I'm not sure. I know you said you've heard of her. This is my first time hearing about her because I feel like she was blowing up on like TikTok with what recently happened to her. But her name is, I should say, her singing name is Jaguar Wright. And
I'm sure a lot of people that are on TikTok a lot, they've heard of her because, like you said, she's making waves now. She's been in the music industry for a while.
And I learned that too.
But she's just now coming out and being more vocal.
Yes. So her actual name is Jacqueline Suzette Wright. I put her whole business out, but that's her
government.
Her government. But that's it.
I was going to say her slave name. They're going to cancel us. They ain't going to cancel us. This is only the third episode.
I know. But yeah, so that is her full name. She's worked with Jay-Z, Alicia Keys, Kanye West. She's talked about many of those, like the Migos, R. Kelly, and Aaliyah. And a lot of the stuff.
Her favorite is P. Diddy.
Yes. A lot of the stuff that she says, though, I just feel like it makes sense. Like, I know this is conspiracy talk, but it just makes sense. Like, one of the things, of course, everybody knows about R. Kelly and Aaliyah is that Aaliyah got married underage, and how was she able to get married? I mean, she had a marriage certificate and everything. And, you know, Jaguar Wright said, listen, her parents knew that she was trying to get married. And
her uncle was a major fixture in that.
Right, because he was her
like her manager
or something like that?
He was the one who introduced her to R. Kelly. That's what I know for certain.
Right, and I do know that as well. So just different things like that. I think one of the, I shouldn't say funny because it makes seem like taking it as a joke, but it was funny to me that she said about Jay-Z and how she could have been in Beyonce's spot. And this is where they started to make her seem like she was going like a little bit crazy, because she said like Beyonce would have been, you know, working in her mom's hair salons with a lot of cuss words in her mom's hair salons, and I would have been Beyonce. And I'm just like,
well, she also mentioned with Aaliyah that Beyonce came into play because they killed Aaliyah.
Yes,
allegedly. I gotta say allegedly.
Right, with
because they did say that Aaliyah was the one who they were grooming for whatever, but when she passed away, that's when they bought on Beyonce.
And I believe it. Doesn't it make sense?
It makes a lot of sense.
It just makes sense. And now, to bring me to the top of it, I guess supposedly she went to her husband's barbershop. He was getting his hair cut, and she was cussing out the window and going into the barbershop, like supposedly arguing with him about something, they don't know what. But everybody thinks because she's talking so much about the industry that they're trying to like
kill her.
I
saw that video.
Yeah. And
I saw that video.
And it's so sad because it's just like, what? Like, man, like you can't even, you don't even have the freedom of speech anymore.
Not at all. You never did. And even today, like we said, cancel culture is real.
Yeah.
They locked it and loaded.
And ready. And I feel like they just really, they're trying to lock her up. I'm interested to hear what she said about P. Diddy. What she say about P. Diddy?
Well, she said a lot about P. Diddy, like just about his parties and stuff like that. She was the one who said that Meek Mill was tooting it up for Diddy, which I believe. I believe it. I don't give a damn.
Tooting
and booting.
Tooting and booting. Y'all. Tooting and booting. Listen, I now have heard of his sex parties and his...
You gotta sign NDAs, non-disclosure agreements. I think that one of the most interesting things that she said had to do with Jada Pinkett and Will Smith, about how pretty much, you know, they was doing different things with boys and whatnot. And some of them was trying to escape and get up out of there, but August Alsina was one who stayed. She said that, not me.
Right.
But then she said also it bounced on over to the Wade household. Her words, not mine.
I did hear her talk about the Wade household too. And I was just like, at some point it's just like, is it really worth, like, she's so angry that she's just
letting it all out.
And the crazy thing is, I actually listened to a song, maybe it was her very first song. I don't know. I have the link on my phone, but I'll have to let you listen to it. But it was really good. She could really sing.
Yeah, she really can.
Really can sing. And a lot of people, like, I looked at the comments. I always watch videos and then look at the comments underneath. They're like, she's so natural. She doesn't have any nails on. She doesn't have any eyelashes on. She's just so beautiful the way that she is. And nowadays, you don't find that too much in the industry. So.
Not at all. Not at all. But conspiracy?
Right.
Or not?
Right.
I don't know. I don't know. Well, my first conspiracy talk, I'm going to lead y'all into it because I got a lot to talk about conspiracy talk because y'all know I love it. So everybody knows right now that eggs are expensive AF.
Yeah.
I mean, a dozen of eggs, costs like $5 in the store right now?
Which is ridiculous.
We've never seen those numbers before. So I was watching a TikTok maybe like a couple days ago. It was a woman who actually owns a farm. Okay. And she basically was going through, she has, obviously chickens and stuff like that. She was saying that she's a part of a community on Facebook. She had posted and asked, was anybody, basically they're saying the shortage is because the farmers, their chickens are not laying eggs. Okay. She posted in a group and asked, is anybody else experiencing this? And apparently there are several farmers everywhere that said that beginning in like September, like the whole winter time, has not laid one egg. And that's why we have these expensive egg prices right now. Now, what she furthermore said was the reason why she found the cheat code. She found out, bless you.
Excuse me, thank you.
She found out why the chickens weren't having eggs. Okay. And that was because she said it has to do with the feed that they were feeding the chickens. Okay. She said that it was proven that multiple different people were using the same feed and their chickens weren't eating it at all. So she said she basically, instead of keeping them caged up, giving them the feed, she allowed them to free roam, free range chickens or whatever. And once she allowed them to free range, they were able to produce eggs.
They're going on a strike.
Yep. They're going on a strike. They said it's enough.
Enough is enough. Y'all are not going to have me caged up. I mean, have you ever seen a chicken coop?
Yeah.
It's not that big.
And it's normally not clean either.
Right, exactly. Chickens have feelings. So let them things free.
I mean, and we know they got feelings because, the Jewish people, the Indian people, they pray over it. Halal and kosher food is a real thing. So definitely got to treat our animals a little bit better.
Definitely.
Now, this is the juicy part. This is the juicy part, okay? So, in episode 1 of the topics that you talked about was Damar Hamlin.
Yes, my football player.
We talked about, his tragedy that happened on the field.
Yeah.
Now, I did extensive research.
Oh, Lord.
I don't know where I fall on this topic. I really don't.
Okay.
But, so as we know, Damar Hamlin, he suffered from cardiac arrest on the field. They had to give him mouth to mouth or resuscitate him for 9 minutes. They tried to do that.
Right.
They were able to bring him back.
Right.
We saw a picture of him in the hospital where he woke up and, he said, who won?
Yes.
Did we win? Then we saw him a week later show up, which was last week, show up to the Buffalo Bills game. And we see him show up to the game and a jacket, like a hood on his head, glasses on, scarf over his face, and we never get to see his actual face. But we see all these mysterious people guiding him and leading him through the stadium. As we see him in the skybox, we see him throwing up signs, doing this, but every time we pan to the box, we can never see his face because it's just snowing so much. So there's people in the tinfoil hat community is what they call them. Okay. That believe that was not Damar Hamlin that showed up to that game. But yeah, it's a whole community of people that believes. Did you have any inkling of what I'm talking about?
Now I didn't see.
And I'll put up some pictures.
Yeah, I didn't see it, so I'm interested for you to show me what this looks like. But that's crazy. Yep. And it's almost a little creepy because.
It's very creepy.
I'm not sure. I think it was our last episode we talked about Kanye and the cloning situation.
Right. So there's a group of people to furthermore the conspiracy theory. They believe that Damar Hamlin actually died on the field. They believe he actually died on the field from apparently a vaccine, not the COVID vaccine, but it was like a, oh my God, because I wrote it down. It was a, hold on, mRNA vaccine. Not 100% sure on what that is. But apparently, they're basically trying to make it seem like people who are anti-vaccine are so crazy and coming up with this theory or whatever the case may be. But people believe that he died on that field. And it just was suspicious to me.
Suspicious.
It was suspicious to me. Like, so the reason why I say I told a line is because, we did see him in the bed up.
Yeah.
We did at least get to see that. Now, whether that was him that came to that stadium, that I can't vouch for.
Well, somewhere I heard that his breathing wasn't that well. So, because I haven't seen this yet, did he happen to have like a ox tank?
No, and so that was another thing that they debunked on these videos.
Yeah.
Was you can clearly hear the commentator, like sports commentator on the show, on the game, basically commentating and saying how he needs oxygen to breathe, this and the third. But as you see this person navigating through the stadium, they do not have an oxygen tank, and they actually had their mouth covered up. So if he was having trouble breathing, there was no way he was going to be able to cover his face like that.
Yeah, no, definitely.
What I personally believe, I do not believe that he died on the field. But then again, I can't 100% dispel it because they were also talking about how devastated everybody was on the field when he got hurt. Basically, they were saying that typically when somebody was to get hurt and had to get resuscitated and sent to the hospital, they would just basically say, we're going to win this game for this person. We're going to keep going.
Yeah, they canceled the whole game.
They canceled the whole game.
Yeah.
And so basically they're saying that it's not often that they cancel games like that. The only time they cancel games is when somebody dies. And they could not allow him to be seen being, dying on national television. Now, I'm so deep in a conspiracy talk.
Right.
That it goes deep, 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 deep. It goes deep to we got people on here that are showing pictures of the ambulance that pulled up on the field.
It didn't have no name on it.
No decal, no nothing.
I did see that.
And it looked like a U-Haul vehicle that they just spray painted.
And put them in it.
Basically. Then you got people who looked at the license plate number and to see what it was registered to, and it was registered to a totally different vehicle. Then you got people, because this conspiracy talk goes deep, okay?
Yeah.
We got people who believe in numerology and numbers and all of that stuff.
Right. So
they basically took the number that was on the ambulance along with the number that was on the license plate and, did their whole numerology thing and basically came up with the devil's number 666.
Oh, shit. Listen. First of all, my head is hurting. Second, what? And then it brings you back to, first of all, the Illuminati. Like, let's be honest. The Illuminati, it brings you back to, was he a sacrifice for somebody? Or did he sacrifice? Or did he... It just makes you think.
It makes you think. It makes you think a lot. And they might not even show it on Google. I may have to pull this up on my phone after the episode and show it to you because I don't see anything. Like, I can show you videos, and I may even try to put the video up so y'all can see what's going on, but conspiracy?
Or not.
All I know is we have not seen this man do any interviews where he's been talking.
Yeah.
We have not seen him, but we do also have players on his team that have said, oh, that was him. He came see us in the locker room before the game.
Right.
So it was him. Y'all are crazy.
Yeah.
But the reality of the situation is when he fell out on that field and basically they ended the whole game, did all of these players and everybody involved get debriefed on what to say and what to do?
Listen, at the end of the day, they're making a lot of money. So if you tell me to say something for a lot of money, I'm saying it.
Yeah. So, I don't know. That's the conspiracy for this week.
That was interesting. I like that. Because that's what had me thinking.
Yeah, that one is deep. I was like, yeah, we gotta talk about Damar Hamlin because you brought him up on that first episode, so we gotta talk about how this progressed.
Right, it gives you a different.
This is what I will say. I would hope that it's not a conspiracy.
I hope not either.
But then again, it's no way of 100% known because, like you said, with clones, even if he does make an appearance and does an interview further down the road, how do we know they didn't clone this man?
Right.
We got videos that's circulating on the internet daily of people like Janelle Monáe and Kevin Hart saying openly that they have clones. And they said in a joking way.
Right.
But Janelle Monáe straight up said, I have a clone for acting. I have a clone for singing. I have a clone for this. I have a clone for that. So.
And what's the difference? I just want to say this real quick. What's the difference between having a stunt double and a clone? There really wasn't nothing.
I mean, the stunt double really is more so like a body double, but
they still look very
right. Yeah.
Very similar. So, I like that. That was a good. Okay. That got me thinking.
Well, guys, I think that brings us to the end of the Sister Talk episode 3. I hope you all enjoyed. As always, you can follow me on social media at goldchain__diva. And you can follow my co-host.
On all social media platforms, MZ_BD.
All right. Well, if you like this episode, please share it. Please continue to comment. Please continue to show us all the love. We've been watching these numbers go up. We appreciate all of it. And we hope you enjoyed tonight's episode and come back to see us again.